Friends, fellow Minnesotans, we're familiar with the theme of One Minnesota. It's been mentioned a couple times tonight. And we hear it from time to time and see it on some of the government's web pages. And the administration has even named their budget proposal One Minnesota Budget. And it's a good aspiration to focus on areas that we can have strong agreement on. However, the budget and tax bill proposed by the majority is not One Minnesota. Rather, it's a socialist plan paid for by some and benefiting others. This is a some Minnesota budget. As Democrats raise taxes $9.5 billion and increase fees to be nearly $10 billion in total, some will pay more. Others will offer less. We don't have a revenue problem here in Minnesota. In fact, when I first started paying more attention to politics in around 2009, we had a state budget of around $35 billion, and there was a big debate and a government shutdown about that budget. But now it has grown revenues. The state of Minnesota has grown revenues, have increased to astounding $72 billion in this proposal of the budgets that we've had over the last week. That represents a 40% increase in state government from the last biennium. Democrats seem to have an insatiable appetite for spending. We absolutely have a spending problem, not a revenue problem. The historic surplus that we have been entrusted to is proof that we don't have a revenue problem. We are not underinvested. Minnesota's overtaxed. It's shameful that the majority has failed to deliver on the promise to fully eliminate the tax on Social Security income for our seniors. It's shameful that Democrats are also not meaningfully returning the surplus to the families that created it. It's shameful that Democrats are instead proposing to increase taxes $9.5 billion to feed their spending habit. It's shameful that this bill attacks our local charities all across Minnesota. Friends, we are a state in danger of upending the good life that across America saw the good life in Minnesota on that Time magazine cover. We are in danger of forever upending that culture that so many of us work for and hope for. Instead of One Minnesota that was sold to us, it's become a some Minnesota for the benefit of others. Some are being asked to work harder so others can work less. Some are being made to pay higher and more income taxes so others can pay less and receive a skimpy $275 rebate. Some will have their Second Amendment rights infringed so others can feel safe. A Minnesota where other voters are more important and desired, while some are being disenfranchised. Some of you will pay more, some of us will pay more to drive with higher tab fees, higher sales taxes, so others can ride for free. As long and tough as the days are that we've spent together, we owe it to ourselves and to our kids to keep the faith, to keep working for the promise of the American dream. This budget of identity politics and class welfare fails Minnesota. We can do better than what this tax bill offers for all Minnesota taxpayers and all Minnesota families. Please vote no.